Ladies and gentlemen, I know you're still enjoying a beautiful meal tonight and a delicious dessert as well. We're going to move on with our program. Again, I want to thank you for being here tonight and celebrating the 2023 U of A Sports Hall of Fame induction class. A special night, one of the special nights that this school has every year. And if you get a chance, make sure that you take home the program with you and look back through some of the former inductees. This event started back in 1976, and I think you're going to recognize a lot of the great Wildcats from years gone by. So please take that home and take a look at it here in the days to come. One reason why this university is so successful and the athletic department is so well known around the country is its leadership, and it takes strong leadership. Right now, probably more than ever in the history of college athletics. We have great leaders with us tonight. We'll get to hear from them a little bit. You'll be introduced to some in a little bit. But right now, I'd like to welcome the leader of the athletic department, Vice President and Director of Athletics, Dave Hickey.
Well, thanks, Brian, and welcome everyone. What a great evening, great crowd tonight. Another terrific night celebrating Wildcat athletics and this great tradition that we have here in Tucson. On behalf of the University of Arizona, and I do extend greetings from President Robbins, who has a multitude of things. This is one of his favorite things to do, and he's missing it tonight. And he did want me to express his appreciation and welcome everyone on behalf of the university. And again, I'd like to welcome you on behalf of our athletics program to be here tonight to this induction ceremony of we welcome this incredible class of Wildcat greats. I want to extend my thank you. Well, that's quite a microphone I keep getting. I want to start by extending my to thank some really, really important people. An event like tonight couldn't be possible without outstanding work of some really key people. Special thanks to Brian Jeffries. Brian is a rock star. You know, Brian's the voice of the Wildcats, football, basketball, baseball, does our coaches' shows, MCs so many of our events. He's the dean of Pac-12 announcers. He's lived through the Pac-10, the Pac-12, and then whatever's coming next, right, Brian? We're going to do that too. Okay, good. I want to make sure you keep doing that. So thank you, Brian, for all the work that you do for us. I also want to thank our Hall of Fame committee. You're going to meet them in just a moment, but outstanding work assembling another great class, so thank you for your work. Several athletic staff are involved in tonight's event. Certainly, we couldn't pull off these memorable events without hard work by them. Tara Bruce. Tara is Tara, where are you, Tara? She's probably going to hide a little bit here, but there she is in the back of the room. Does a great. Tara is our director of the A Club, our alumni letter winners program, and it's really her baby tonight in putting this together. So we thank you very much for coordinating all the efforts in tonight's event, and her team, who does a wonderful job. Our creative services unit, led by John Daly. You know, the visual images you see, the videos you're going to see, put on by our staff, and a great job by Mike Baldwin and Mike Hausler, who do an excellent job with all our video stuff and our images. And then we have two of our big-time communications people in the house, Matt Enzer and Brett Gleason. I think I know they were close to. There they are, right there. You guys are right here in the front row. Excellent. As they say, somebody had to kind of bring all those stats and all those facts and figures back together to make sure that we got the right people in the room tonight. We wouldn't be here without all of your good work. So I especially want to extend a special welcome to our inductees, to you for your night, but to all the friends, your families, your teammates who are here with you, those who are very important in your lives. We're glad to have you back on campus. For those that are coming back here at Arizona, back home, it truly is your night. This night is dedicated to all of you, so please enjoy that. Finally, I want to recognize, before I just have a couple of brief closing comments, I want to recognize Rocky LaRose. Rocky LaRose, longtime administrator, the chair of the University of Arizona Sports Hall of Fame. We all know, longtime administrator, but was a student athlete here, was a coach here. Yes, was an administrator for 3 athletic directors. I didn't have the privilege of having Rocky there. That's why it's kind of a little rocky right now, Rocky. Full pun intended there. homecoming queen, that's right, thank you, and served as the athletic director here as well, and as a member of this Hall of Fame. So, Rocky, thanks so much. One of the all-time outstanding administrators. Appreciate you very much. So, yes, I'm very honored to stand in front of you. It's my privilege as the athletic director on a wonderful evening like tonight that recognizes these wonderful accomplishments by our former Wildcat student athletes. This program is about excellence. The Wildcat Way is about excellence. Tonight, and celebrating tonight, is an illustration of that excellence that we're also very proud of. Tonight, we proudly honor 8 Wildcats who embodied championship excellence, broke barriers, proudly represented the Block A. This year's class includes national champions, conference champions, All-Americans, Olympians, a nationally recognized head coach, and an extremely accomplished athletic administrator that helped this ship sail as smoothly as it has sailed for so many years. All of them are leaders, all of them are trailblazers, and all of them are outstanding Wildcats. Each of them fulfilled the Wildcat Way mission to be champions. Each of them helped create the culture of excellence that defines our program today. When our student athletes compete, when they go to class, when they grow here as young people, it's because of the opportunities that have been provided and the great experiences that have happened before them that make this program so significant. So, again, tonight's a championship night. You hear me say this every year, those of you who have the privilege of attending. This is a championship night. This is a night that we raise banners. We raise 8 banners. We raise 8 championship trophies. We honor each of you as inductees, as champions of this program. So, again, congratulations. Glad to have you back. Bear down, go Cats. Enjoy the evening. Thank you, everybody.
All right, thank you, Dave. Well, speaking of leadership, we have great leaders with us here tonight. I would like you to please stand and be recognized. You've already heard her name. I will give you her professional titles only. And that, of course, is Deputy Director of Athletics, Acting AD, current Chair of the President's Intercollegiate Athletics Committee, and Sports Hall of Fame, Rocky LaRose. Rocky. We're very pleased to have with us tonight 2 outstanding men who led this athletic department for many years and brought great glory to Wildcat athletics. Please welcome back former Director of Athletics, Cedric Dempsey. And former Director of Athletics, Jim Livengood. Many of the Wildcat coaches are with us tonight. I'd like you to please stand and be recognized. Head beach volleyball coach, Steve Walker. Head coach swimming and diving, Augie Bush. Head diving coach, Dwight Guilmet. Head women's tennis coach, Ryan Stotland. Head coach for track and field and cross country, Fred Harvey. Former head coach of men's golf, Rick LaRose. Former head coach softball, Mike Candrea. And former head baseball coach, Andy Lopez. Welcome back and thank you for being here. In addition, I'd like to recognize some members of the Arizona Athletics leadership team that are here tonight. You've already met one of them. I'll make him stand up again. Dave Hickey, Vice President for Athletics. Erica Barnes, Executive Senior Associate Athletic Director and Senior Women Administrator. Matt Hayes, Assistant Vice President, Chief Operating Officer. And Crystal Swindlehurst, Assistant Vice President, Human Resources, and Chief of Staff. And finally, we'd like all A-Club letter winners to please stand tonight and be recognized. All the A-Club letter winners, please stand. right, thank you for being here. And anyone who's ever been to a Wildcat game, please stand. No, I'm just kidding. That's okay. All right, you've met her a couple times tonight. Now we get to hear her speak. Rocky LaRose has been so much to this university and many assets you've heard tonight. But most importantly right now, she is the committee chair of the Sports Hall of Fame. Rocky LaRose.
Thank you, Brian. All right, let's get this party started. Oh boy, we have got a treat for you. We have some wonderful Wildcat moments to relive tonight, and I am so honored to be the chair. Thank you, Dave, for all those wonderful words, and honestly, thank you for everything you do for the Wildcats, for the student athletes, for the university. Terrific, just terrific. Yes. So the University of Arizona Sports Hall of Fame is our story. This is who we are. It holds our traditions and our history. It holds our victories. But as we know, it's so much more than that because it answers the question, why sport? Why sport? Why the pursuit of excellence, which just happens to be our department's mission statement. At the heart of the Sports Hall of Fame, of course, though, is the individual, and you're going to meet them tonight. And Dave ran down some of the accolades that we're going to be hearing about today. I'm going to add a couple more. We have a Rhodes Scholar. Woo! On top of the national champions and the conference champions, we have a Super Bowl champion who is in the room. We have professional athletes. We have a pioneer amongst us who's a record holder, a woman who started just right after we were little babies in women's athletics. So we're delighted to have her here. Yes. And of course, Olympians and national champions and All-Americans, all too much to count. So to all of our inductees, the Wildcat family is proud of you. I have to do a personal one, though. There's a guy that I hung out with for 35 years in my career. We had offices right next to each other. I like to call him my partner in crime, but we had a time and we did some really great stuff. JP, I love you. Congratulations. I'm so glad you're here. Honestly, guys, the greatest CFO that there ever was. So thank you, JP. Thank you for being a wonderful man and a great guy to work with. I really appreciate it. Okay, I can't wait for you to hear the stories. I'm going to get off of here, but when you do, you're going to think this job is really easy, that the committee just comes in and goes, oh yeah, that one, that one, that one, and that one. But I want you to know we have had thousands of athletes come through our door, very talented athletes. So the Sports Hall of Fame committee is here to pick the best of the best, and that gets a little trying sometimes to try to decipher between some of our ultimate talented student athletes. So at this time, I want to recognize the members of our Hall of Fame committee because they put in the work, and we're very grateful to them. So I'm going to have them stand. Hold your applause to the end. The Sports Hall of Fame committee members are historian John Alquist, and please stand up and remain standing. Hall of Famer Erica Barnes. Hall of Famer and coach Mike Candrea. Hall of Famer baseball Clark Christ. Former SID, you guys will know him, and historian Tom Duddleston, the Dud. Letterman James Francis. Letter winner Reggie Gary. And we want to welcome our new member, Letterman Lamont Hunley. New member Hall of Famer Lacey John. Hall of Famer coach Andy Lopez. Hall of Famer Justine Schluntz. New member Rita Strubbs. Alumni Association Representative Lisa Valentine, and alumni and former administrator Phoebe Chalk Wadsworth. Thank you all so very, very much. And quickly, we have a big thank you out to those longstanding members who have completed their time on the Sports Hall of Fame committee, and we have a couple of them here tonight. Football letter winner Don Tex Bowerman, former head coach and professor Catherine Russell, I know she's here. Soccer letter winner Carrie Casper. Basketball letter winners Felicity Willis, and football letter winner Anthony Wingate. Thank you all for your service. Appreciate it greatly. And of course, I want to give a shout out to Tara also. Thank you, Tara. It's a beautiful evening. It's just really sweet. And to where's my soulmate, Roberta. Oh my gosh, Roberta Stout. Yes. So for those of you who may not know, Roberta is the coordinator of our Sports Hall of Fame. She does the research, she pulls all the papers together, she gets the committee together, she does all the background work, and along with our communications people, but we couldn't do it without Roberta. Roberta, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for you. Okay, I just want to say to our inductees, thanks again for choosing to wear the red and blue. We're very proud of you, and we can't wait to celebrate you. Bear down.
All right, thank you, Rocky. Well, now the time has come. We get to meet our new inductees one at a time. Now, I do need to warn you of this, that as they come up to the stage, there will be music playing. It is their own personal walk-up song that they've chosen tonight. So it will give you some insight into their personality as each one comes up. So please welcome our first inductee into the 2023 U of A Sports Hall of Fame, John Perin.
John Perin served 35 years in the Arizona Athletics Department, touching 4 decades of Wildcat student athletes and administrators and covering 20 of the school's 22 team NCAA championships. His induction is one of the few bestowed upon staff and administrators, a distinguished honor reserved for the truly accomplished. As the department's chief financial officer, he grew Arizona's budget from $6 million to $70 million and oversaw the business, facilities, and event management departments. During Perin's tenure, every sport saw upgrades to their venues or enjoyed brand new facilities being constructed to enhance their competitiveness in an evolving collegiate sports landscape.
After retiring from Arizona Athletics, 35 years of service, John continues to reside in Tucson with his wife, Jeannie. John and Jeannie have 2 sons, John and Michael, along with 3 grandchildren, Dustin, Kinsey, and Travis, who also live here in Tucson. In retirement, John loves golf, listens to music, spends a lot of time with his kids, grandkids, and friends. Congratulations, John Perin.
Hey, how you guys doing tonight? Well, thanks, Brian, for that introduction. I appreciate that. Rocky and Dave Hickey and Brian already thanked everybody that I was going to thank. So, this could be real short. They told me I had 30 seconds up here, but I told them I couldn't even clear my voice and start talking in 30 seconds. But anyway, before I do anything else, I'd like to introduce my family over here. My wife, Jeannie, our sons, John and Mike. Mike's wife, Jen, Dustin, and Cassie, they're over here. And Evan and Nikki from Las Vegas, they came down for the ceremony. Yeah, thank you guys, appreciate it. And John and Travis, I'm sorry, Travis, I couldn't see you over there. So. And we have a number of other people here tonight, friends from inside the university and outside the university. Thank all of you for coming. It's a special night, and I appreciate it. I came to work at the University of Arizona in 79 or 80. I think it was actually 80. I think it says 79 on the flyer. But I worked for 6 different athletic directors, and 2 of them were interim, and the other 4, of course, were permanent. But the guy that hired me was the athletic director at the time, was Dave Strack. Does anybody here remember Dave Strack? I know there's coaches here that remember him. He was a great guy, had a great sense of humor, and one of the things, he was kind of old school. Dave, he had an administrative meeting every Monday morning. Yeah, this is Monday morning now after a weekend of maybe having some Coca-Cola or something. And the meeting started at 6:30 a.m. And I think the only 2 people that are still left from those meetings are me and Dick Bartz. I don't know Dick. I don't think he's here tonight. But anyway, he was a great guy. And then when he left, Billy Joe Varney was an interim director, just briefly. And Billy Joe, he was a well-known administrator across campus, ran the student union and some other student services. And he came in and steered the ship in the right direction for a couple of months. And then we hired Cedric Dempsey. And he did a heck of a job. I tell you what, he said, yeah, give him a hand. I learned a lot from Cedric. He was a great guy. He was a great mentor. And of course, he went on to be the executive director of the NC2A and accomplished all kinds of great things at that level. And then after that came Jim Livengood, the boss I always called him, and that kind of stuck a lot of people. I still call him the boss today. And he's not only the boss, but he's one of my very best friends. Thanks for being here tonight, Jim. And Jim did great things. Both Jim and Cedric got a lot of facilities, renovations done and new facilities. And I know we're carrying on that same tradition today as we speak with Dave Hickey and his crew. And it's good to see us keeping up with our competition, that's for sure. And then came Rocky LaRose on an interim basis. And Rocky was pretty quick on her feet after we announced that she was going to be the interim director while we searched for a full-time person. Is that one of my kids crying over there? We had a quick presser outside the admin building on the north side of the building. I know Rocky will remember this. But the first question that a reporter asked her said, "How old are you?" And Rocky quickly said, "Well, I'm old enough to know you shouldn't ask a woman that in public." So, I don't think he asked any more questions. Anyway, all of those athletic directors did and then Greg Byrne. I almost forgot Greg. And I called him Junior. He could have been my kid. But he learned well from his dad, Bill Byrne. He did a great job while he was here. We got some facilities things done, had some success, of course, competitively, and he did a good job. And I think down at, where's he at, Alabama? Is that where he's at? And we worked with a couple of other people, too, that I'll mention. They're now athletic directors, Chris Del Conte and Mark Harlan. And I think everybody remembers Chris, and probably Mark, too. They did a great job while they were Wildcats here at Arizona. Chris was one of the greatest fundraisers I've ever been around. But we got some great ones here, too, with Erica and Scott Shake and James Francis and the rest of the crew that raised money. So they're doing a great job for the Wildcats. And then I was going to take, before I forget it, I want to thank Dave Hickey and the athletic department for putting on this event. This is a great event. And I also want to thank Tara Bruce. I don't know where she's at, but I know she put up with a lot of nonsense from me, changing names and tables and all that kind of stuff. So thank you for putting up with me. And I know you do a great job for the Wildcats. Let me see, I got a few other notes here. You know, there's some real characters I worked with over the years, and a bunch of them are sitting in here tonight. Now Rick LaRose, he's one of the best characters you've made. There he is, right? I see him over here. And Scott McKenzie, he's another one. He's a big character that I like a lot. But one of the darndest characters that ever worked in athletics is a guy named Nick Wallace. Anybody remember Nick Wallace? Who remembers Nick Wallace? Well, Nick Wallace, I got to tell you right now, Nick Wallace, he was one of my heroes. He delivered the mail for us. And he took mail all across campus, brought it back to us. And prior to that, he had worked in the equipment room. The unique thing about him, when I came to work in 1980, Nick I think Nick was 68, right around 68. He had only taken 2 days off in the 50 years he had worked at the University of Arizona. This is a true story. Now, Rocky will verify it. It's true, Nick Wallace. Well, Nick, the first week I was working, I was sitting in my office putting something together for Dave's track, and Nick came in to see who I was and introduce himself, and he didn't, he was kind of disheveled looking, kind of looked a little bit like a transient, if you know what I mean. But Nick comes in, he had the ever-present cigar in his mouth. He smoked that thing constantly, and he came in. I had a big 12-column worksheet. I was putting together stuff for Dave's track. And about every 2 minutes after he introduced himself, we got to talking, he'd pull the cigar out and spit tobacco, and it'd land right on my worksheet. And by the time he finished and he left, the whole thing was just covered with tobacco. So, Reader's Digest used to have an article called My Most Unforgettable Character. Well, Nick Wallace is one of my most unforgettable characters. Well, yes, and Nick, he taught me a lot about saving money. And I tell you, he knew how to stretch a penny. That guy was unbelievable. Came to work one day and he had a couple of big rubber bands tied around his shoe. I said, well, Nick, what in the heck are those for? He said, well, I'm holding the sole of my shoe to the upper part of the leather. I said, well, Nick, I said, hell, me and Dick Barch will take you down at lunch and get you some shoes. He said, oh, hell no. He said, I can get another 9 or 10 months out of these. So I learned right away how to make a penny last when I came into athletics. Nick Wallace taught me all that. But he didn't have any family. He had 2 sisters that had passed away and didn't really have any other family. When he did pass away, you might think he's just some kind of an old guy nobody would care about too much. We held a memorial service in the McKell Center for him, and I was the MC of that because I really got attached to Nick. And not one person did not show up. Everybody in that building showed up for that memorial service. There's a character for you right there, Mr. Nick Wallace. In fact, Rick LaRose, he tried to start a fund to get a statue built of Nick. He talked about it at least, I remember that. So, and various other characters that we came across over the years. And, you know, when you work as long as I did at a place, staff turns over and new people come in and replace the old people. But throughout the whole tenure, my whole tenure in athletics, we always had a great staff of personnel. And that's what makes it work. That's what makes it all work. Facilities are great, and you got to have them, and you got to stay up with the competition, but it's the people that make the difference. And we had, and still have, the greatest coaches that you'd ever find. Man, they won all kinds of national championships, had All-Americans. They were just fantastic coaches, still are. And tell you what, let's give them all a hand. That's what an athletic department starts, and what it is, coaches. They're the key. And of course, then you can't leave out the stars, you know, our student athletes. You talk about it, great athletes. Boy, over the course of 35 years, I saw some unbelievable athletes. It's too many to try to name, but a couple that just still stick out to me. Vance Johnson, he's a great ball player, played pro ball for a long time with the Broncos. Sean Elliott, of course, everybody remembers Sean Elliott. And on and on and on and on, just so many great ball players. So anyway, the last thing I'll talk about are the people that are behind the scenes in athletics, that put out every day, they go to work, they do their job. And like I said, it's all about the people. But I'm getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, but I accept that and dedicate that to those people behind the scenes. I know there's a bunch of them here tonight. You can't mention them all. You run the risk of leaving people out. And I didn't get to see everybody out in the foyer, but I know there's a couple of them here, like Susie Mason and Scott McKenzie and Oscar Portillo and Carla Savage and Tom Duddleson, of course, Rocky and Jim and Sed. And a bunch of them here, just the best people you'd ever hope to be working for. And thanks for all the memories, guys. I appreciate every one of you, and I appreciate this award. It's really, really special to me and my family. Thank you so much. Bear down. I'll see you out at the stadium tomorrow. We'll beat the Bruins.
Beloved Promise, formerly known as Brigida Barrett while competing at Arizona, posted one of the greatest careers in Arizona track and field history during her 4 years in Tucson. Her packed Hall of Fame resume is highlighted by 6 NCAA national championships and her accomplishment as the first woman in NCAA history to claim 3 consecutive indoor high jump championships. However, it doesn't end there. Promise claimed an Olympic silver medal in London, hauled in an astounding 8 All-America selections, broke multiple program records, and consistently excelled in the classroom. Her distinguished career as a Wildcat wrapped up a decade ago in 2013 and will now forever live in the Arizona Sports Hall of Fame.
Beloved recently started her career as a nurse at St. Johns Hopkins Hospital. She is passionate about spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ, loving others, and improving the quality of health care for diverse individuals. Beloved Promise, please come forward and be inducted into the U of A Sports Hall of Fame.
for a long time, but I'm here for a good time, and I just want to make sure that time reflects my God, if that makes sense. There's a song that goes, God is good. And so it's may your struggles bring you near the cross, and may your troubles show that you need God, and may your battles end the way they should. May your bad days prove that God is good, and let your whole life prove that God is good. And I just want to say, so I just want to say all glory and honor to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He really is my best friend. Yeah, he really is my best friend. But I also want to say honor to everybody over here that is here for me. I love you guys, and honor to everybody at the University of Arizona that has been a part of my journey. I truly appreciate it from the moment that I walked into these doors and on my recruiting visit and got the opportunity to see like palm trees for the first time in real life. It was a great experience, and I always felt like, I don't know how to explain it, if you guys ever had this feeling like you're living in a movie that's like about you and you're kind of like watching it as it's unfolding. I've always felt like that, and I think you guys have always, the University of Arizona Wildcat family has always given me permission to dream really big. I remember when I accidentally stole Coach Harvey's nuts at practice. I always believe in dreaming big, and basically that day it was really funny because Coach Harvey was just looking at me bewildered and shocked because I was really hungry because we had school all day and then we had practice and testing. And what had happened was I was like, oh, dear God, I'm really hungry. Can you please give me some food? And when I opened my eyes, there was a box of nuts right in front of me. So in my mind, the Lord had brought these box of nuts, and I'm not even being sarcastic. In my mind, the Lord had delivered me a fresh, unopened box of nuts. And I was like, I can't be selfish. I have to share these nuts with everybody on the team, okay? So I was like, do you need nuts? Are you hungry? Are you hungry? Please, sir, can I have some more? So I basically was sharing, and I was like, Coach Harvey, he's not an athlete, but I'm pretty sure he's hungry too. So I said, Coach Harvey, I found these box of nuts. Are you hungry? Would you like some? And turns out those were actually his box of nuts. And so I was like, oh, my bad. Would you like them back? I say all that to say, Coach Harvey had always been shocked at the fact that I really believed that the Lord gave me that box of nuts. Because I was being literal. I was being dead serious. But that just kind of reflects the relationship that I have with the Lord and the faith that I have, and just the way that every time I pray and believe in him for something to come to fruition, he brings amazing people like Coach Harvey in my life to have a fresh box of nuts. So when I say amen and open my eyes, I'm not hungry anymore. And so I just want to say thank you to all the Coach Harveys, which are my mama bears. First, I want to just give honor to them. My biological mama, Mama Dukes, she's over there. Thank you so much for birthing me and allowing me to believe that there's nothing that I cannot do. Thank you for my mamita. It's not about the people that necessarily you have DNA with, but the people that you choose to love. So they say sometimes you're born with a certain family and sometimes you choose your family, and I'm just so honored that you chose to allow me to be a part of your family. And my mama Beal, she was my high school coach that actually played such an amazing part of my life. I just can't believe that she looked at me and thought like, hey, I'm gonna love this girl and I'm gonna teach her to be everything that she can be. She's unfortunately not able to be here today, but she tried really hard to be, and I just wanna say that I love you and I feel you here in my heart and my spirit. I wanna say thank you to my family, the Allens over there. He's always been kind of like the football, basketball / strength and conditioning coach for all of us. And I just want to say thank you to you and Jess. And it's Charlton's birthday. Happy birthday. But out of all the coaches, I want to say thank you to Sheldon, because the moment that I came here, I didn't know this, but Mama Bill and Sheldon kind of had a conversation about like him being kind of a father figure in my life, and he definitely stayed true to that, and even like always made sure to celebrate my birthday. And so it wasn't just about track, and I could say that like about every single person that I've come into contact with here. Shout out to Becky Bell, I don't know where you at, but my freshman year, you invited me into your office and you told me that you believed that I could be Woman of the Year and I could have all these great success, and even Frank Bush, who was a swimming coach, who ran into me the first time and was like, "You got what it takes to be great, kid." And I was just like, really? And like, I really believed him because I could tell he was being sincere. And so not to like, I hope I'm not forgetting anybody specifically. There's so many names to mention, but I just want to say thank you guys for being amazing angels that the Lord has sent into my life, because even as I transition into working as a nurse, and working in the ICU and in critical care is very stressful, because I serve people that have waited a long time to get a new heart or a new lung, and sometimes I feel really a lot of imposter syndrome, because I'm like, I don't know if I have what it takes to give this person the quality of care that they deserve, because they got a new lease on life, and I don't want to mess it up, right? And I just think about all of you guys that I've come in contact with over the years that has allowed me to believe that I can do it, and that there's nothing that I can't do if I put my mind to it, and I'm willing to put the work in. And I think that's just a really beautiful Wildcat mentality. Just to be able to say, like, I remember running around here chasing after Justine and every time she'd be in the weight room working out, every time she would like be at AIA or just anywhere, I just always thought she was so cool. And I thought one of the coolest things was like that she went on and continued to like invest in her mind and really not just be an athlete, but to really be an academic scholar, and just to be a woman in STEM and doing engineering, like just all these people, and to be able to say like, oh my gosh, Tanya Hughes, the college record holder, is like somebody that wants to sit down and talk to me and just tell me that I can do it. And she never looked at me with any animosity and was like, I don't want you taking my name off the record book. She was like, go, do it. And every time when I went to go be professional and travel and leave the USA for the first time to compete on an international level, like Coach Green and Tanya like came and sat down and taught me that like, hey, there's a whole world out there for you to see, and I want you to go see it. And I don't want you to let anybody look down on you and tell you you can't do it. You could do it. And so I just want to say thank you to all of you guys, whether you guys said it or believed it. I met an amazing woman, Susan Elliott, today, that said she's been an amazing fan, a super fan, of the University of Arizona for over 10 years. And I want you to know that like, you may have not have been a coach that worked with me on a regular basis, but like the fans and you guys believing in us and you guys coming out and supporting us and watching us compete and rooting us on and remembering us, it means a lot. It makes a difference. And you guys are just as important part of a dream that we have in our hearts as our coaches or our friends. And my best friends, Damone and Liz and Jazzy and Stephanie, and just all of you guys, I love you guys so much. And so when I say that God is good, you guys are the goodness that God has given me. And so I just thank you guys so much. And I don't want to keep like going on and on and on, but the most recent part of that addition is my nursing family. Nadia Rivas, you have been the best friend that I think I never even knew I could even have. The way that you encouraged me to believe that I'm more than an athlete and that I could be an academic scholar and that I could be a great nurse, and even just encouraging me in ways that you didn't even realize to go and move all the way to Maryland to go just pursue my dream of being a great nurse. I appreciate it. Dr. Hom, Dr. Godfrey, Dr. Kaiser, like all of you guys, just Dr. Winchester praying for me, like, I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And I want to thank Alyssa for taking the time to come all the way out here from USC to come celebrate this moment with me. I can't believe you're a grown woman, because when I came out here, you were a little baby playing in the sand with your twin brother. But all of you guys, I'm just so humbled. And so thank you guys. I don't think this induction is just about me. I think it's a celebration of the community that we foster and grow here at the University of Arizona. And it reflects how much we can go and branch out and change the world and have that impact. And I really think it just starts with us being willing to be really great, kind humans to other people. And you never know what one moment, one smile, one kind word taking the time to pray for someone, pray with someone. There's a lot of tension all over the world happening, and no matter what position or side of it that you find yourself on, if you just remember to show up as the most sincere human being that you can be in that moment, I don't really think it will matter, because in that moment you've changed someone's life, and that's all that matters. So thank you guys. This is a huge honor. All glory to God, all glory to all of you guys, and bear down.
Stephen Sambu proudly continues a long run of history for Arizona track and field in the Arizona Sports Hall of Fame. To those ends, he is the second Arizona track and field athlete honored with induction in the class of 2023. Sambu was an 8-time All-American and a 2-time conference champion while at Arizona. After setting a program record in the 10K in 2011 that still stands to this day, he earned Pac-12 Freshman of the Year honors, kicking off a remarkable 2-sport career. Sambu finished as high as second place at the NCAA Championships 5 times across 3 different events and was a back-to-back Pac-10 champion in the 10K in 2011 and 2012.
Stephen has a career as a professional road racer and also cross-country head coach at Northwest College in Kansas. Stephen has 2 kids, Jaden and Jeremy, spends most of his time living in Kansas, but always comes to Tucson because his family is here. Stephen Sambu, please come forward and be inducted into the U of A Sports Hall of Fame.
Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up. Here we go, it's getting close. Now it's just who wants it most. It's just life, that's how it is. 'Cause we have our strengths and weaknesses. Oh, I have vision, can't you see? I'm on the move, make way for me. So stand up.
For me, from a small village in Kenya, and coming all the way to America and be recognized in a big event like this is a big deal for me. So thank you so much, Athletic Department of Arizona. And then also, I want to thank Coach Avi and Coach Lee for allowing me to be in this university, because they are the one who helped me to come to University of Arizona, to accept me to be part of the team. And then also, thank you so much, Coach Avi, because there's one day I was sick in the hospital, and then Coach Avi came to hospital and sit with me for hours. You know, like I will not forget that, because Coach Avi left his job and he came to hospital and sit with me and talk to me, tell me stories, because I was having a big problem with my stomach. I had ulcers and I was bleeding bad. And he came to hospital and sit with me, talk to me, like tell me like I will be okay. You know, that was I will not forget that. That's been a while. That was in 2000 and I think 12 or 11. You know, I will not forget that, Coach Avi. Thank you so much for doing that for me. And then also, I will not forget my friends from, I'm Matthew Kotut with his family from Texas. They came all the way, they arrived this morning to celebrate this event with me. And then also I have some friends from Phoenix, Eric and his family. I have a former athlete from University of Arizona, Shem, Timothy, and then also my family. I have my 2 boys over there. You know, like I think they will not forget this, because you know my elder boy is 2 years, 4 years and 2 years. I think they will remember this. You know, hopefully they remember. So University of Arizona, it has been really a big deal to me because, because after I finished my education over here and running here, I became a professional athlete. So because of, for the foundation I got in University of Arizona, I was able to go run marathon because I have done New York Marathon, Chicago, Boston. I've done a lot of marathons, and it's because of Arizona, because of what they did to me. So, and then they developed me, and then I became a very good road racer in the world. Because in 2013, from 2013, after I finished University of Arizona, so 2013, 14, 15, I was the #1 in the world in road racer in the world for 3 years in a row. Thank you so much. So like I had my speech, but like I gave my boy my speech to put it somewhere, and then he lost my speech. That's why I was. Yeah. So for me, it's going to be very short. So I want to thank Tucson community because they are very nice. Like I have a very nice place for training over here. People are so nice. When I go like to the running trail down there at the river, they are very nice. Everybody like saying hi. So which is really good. When you say hi to me when I'm running, and even when I'm so tired, like I feel like I get more energy, and I continue running. So and then also I don't want to forget Abdi. I know everybody knows Abdi here. Abdi Abdurrahman. He's the one always pushing me. He's the one who always pushing me. Like sometimes I feel like I don't want to run, and then Abdi to call me in the morning. I was like, "Where are you? I'm waiting for you." I was like, "I did my run this morning." No, come. I know you haven't run yet. And then I have to go. I have to go run with him. Like thank you so much, Abdi. And also I think he's over there. Thanks a lot. So my speech is going to be very short, just like that, and I'm done. Thank you so much, University of Arizona. This is really a big deal for me. Like I wish my family was. I wish my parents was here, but like they are far away. But I will send them the video and pictures, and then they will. I think I told them the other day they are so happy. They will not understand exactly what he said, but they are so proud of me. Thank you so much. Asanteni sana.
Preston Guilmet earned his spot in the Arizona Sports Hall of Fame following a career that ranks among the most accomplished by an Arizona pitcher in program history. A two-time All-American for Arizona baseball, Guilmet remains, to this day, the program leader in games started 61 and innings pitched 416 2/3, while ranking second all-time with 419 strikeouts. A steady presence on the mound for the Wildcats, he twice led the team in wins and ERA while pacing the club in strikeouts in all 4 of his collegiate campaigns. As a sophomore in 2007, Guilmet was selected as the Pac-10 Pitcher of the Year and earned the first of his 2 first-team All-Pac-10 selections. Following his outstanding collegiate career, Guilmet was selected by the Cleveland Indians in the 9th round of the 2009 Major League Draft and broke through to earn his Major League debut in 2013.
After retiring from baseball, Preston started working with his father at their family-owned custom cabinet shop in Northern California. Preston and his beautiful wife, Laura, 3-year-old son, Noah, and 1-year-old daughter, Odette, now live in Newcastle, California. The kids enjoy running around the farm, spending time with their dog, Ace, and their horse, Rosebud, who has an interesting story. Rosebud was a retired U of A alumni that Preston raised during his time here in Tucson in the racetrack industry program. Preston and Laura enjoy every calm moment they can find while raising their 2 awesome kids and a bit of traveling when possible. Preston Guilmet, please come forward and be inducted into the U of A Sports Hall of Fame.
me thinking how I ended up here. And came down to my recruiting visit. It was my second recruiting trip. And we stayed here at La Paloma, so familiar grounds. And it was a great weekend, really fun. Got to hang out with the guys, see all, the campus and everything. And I loved it. And I remember the morning we left, we had breakfast. And Coach Andy Lopez was obviously there with us at breakfast. And, hey guys, hope you had a great trip. Hope you had a fantastic time. Let us know. And okay, and get up and, real quick, hey, we'd love to have you. Everybody that knows Andy, we'd love to have you. It would be an absolute pleasure for you to come here. Take your time, think about it. If you come here, we want to win a national championship. And I just remember thinking, man, this guy is so nice. He's so genuine. He's so just what an honor it would be to play for this guy. I think I really, really like this place. And as I'm getting in the car, our assistant coach put his hand on my shoulder and he said, you have until Wednesday, let us know. And I thought, okay, this is how it's gonna go, all right. So I think on Wednesday, maybe Thursday, I might have been a rebel, I might have pushed it, but I called UC Irvine and I said, I'm not coming, I appreciate the offer, but I found my home. And I called Andy Lopez and I said, hey, I want to come win a national championship with you at the University of Arizona. And unfortunately, we did not win a national championship, but we did do our best and we tried. We had a lot of fun and we won a lot of games. But so yeah, it couldn't have been a better decision for me to end up here at the University of Arizona and become a part of this family. But so obviously, Andy, I'd love to thank you tonight. Without you and the time that I spent here at the U of A, I've told you many times that the lessons learned on the field were fantastic, but they were nothing in compared to the things that I learned from you that I could take into life after college, and I truly mean that, so thank you. And as we mentioned in my little intro, my time at the U of A outside of baseball was spent in the racetrack industry program. And basically what that meant for anybody that doesn't know, we have a horse racing program here at the U of A. I had a big passion for horses, and as soon as I found out about it, I was hooked, I was in. And sitting at my table tonight is Wendy Davis. She is my administrator, my advisor, and she helped guide me through the program. She became the program director after I had left, and she's now retired, but she was a huge part of my time at Arizona outside of sports. That community that we built with the racetrack industry program, all the people involved in that were just absolutely fantastic. So I'd like to thank you. Thank you for coming tonight too, I appreciate it. I know I could thank people all night long. Obviously everybody that came to visit from all across the country. My table 14 over there, you guys are rock stars. I love you. Thank you for coming. I want to thank a special thank you to my parents. My mom is actually back in Northern California with our 2 kids, so we can enjoy this evening without a child screaming. And my dad, he's here tonight. And Dad, without you, without the sacrifice, without all of the travel, the money, the time off from work that I know you probably couldn't have missed, but you did for me. It paved the way, and it gave me every opportunity that I could have to get to the University of Arizona, and after that, continue my career in baseball. So thank you very much for everything you did. And on an ending note, baseball did wonders for me. Opened up doors for me to play as a career, have an opportunity to do something that I loved. And ultimately, it took me to Japan for a season, and I met my beautiful wife in Tokyo. She's from South Africa. She was actually there working on a contract for another company. I was there playing baseball, and here I am now with 2 beautiful kids. So I'd like to thank my beautiful wife. Even though you weren't with me in college, you're here now, and I love you. So that kind of wraps up what I had to say. I just want to say thank you to everybody. I'm really honored to be up here, and I appreciate everything. Thank you.
Kirsten Smith proudly enters the Arizona Sports Hall of Fame after posting one of the most prolific scoring careers in Arizona women's basketball history. By the time her storied career had wrapped up in 1986, Smith had scored 1,264 career points, the all-time program record. Now in 2023, and over 3 decades later, the marks she etched in the school's record books still stand among the top 10 ever recorded. Smith's name already proudly hangs in the McHale rafters as part of the Ring of Honor. But today, the first women's basketball player in Arizona history to cross the 1,000 points threshold cements her Hall of Fame legacy.
Kirsten is currently living in Boise, Idaho with her husband of 35 years, Dan Cambron. Kristen and Dan met on campus 40 years ago. Dan's also an Arizona alum, studied computer engineering. Kirsten and Dan have 4 children, a daughter Casey Cambron, son Jordan Cambron, daughter Shelby Klinger, and daughter Shannon Lee. Kirsten and Dan also have 2 son-in-laws and 2 beautiful grandchildren, Amy and Charlie. More than anything, she loves spending time with her family. Kirsten Smith, please come forward and be inducted into the U of A Sports Hall of Fame.
And I've been missing a life I used to live. Meet me in Tucson tonight. Tell me everything will be alright. When I'm trying to let it all just go, go, go. And when time is slow, it's never felt so good. It's never felt so good to come back home. To come back home.
What an honor it is to be here today. I was told to get right up in this thing, so I am. Alicia, for you. Such an honor to be here tonight. The song I walked up to is actually written and sung by our son Jordan, and the line that I loved most of all was applicable for tonight. It said, it's never felt so good to come back home. And that's how I feel tonight with my family and friends who are here to celebrate. Thank you to the Hall of Fame committee. Thank you to Dave, Rocky, I've known for so many years. Tara, where are you? You're going to get shout-outs all day. Thank you so much. It was so wonderful working with you. And it was just super fun to look out today and see Cedric Nepsey, who was my athletic director, as well as the late Mary Roby. It was that long ago that I played. So fun to see you. And I also heard that Dr. Russell was back there somewhere, too. I think I had either a badminton class or something with her. So, oh, there she is. Do not ever play her in badminton. Ever. I'd like to acknowledge a few people here today with me. Some of my teammates are here, but those that aren't here as well. I just want them to know how much I appreciate them and the great times that we had out on the court, but more importantly, our lifelong friendships that we've developed and had over the years. Also my coaches, my college coaches and my high school coach, and all the just the time and effort and belief they had in me. I'm the youngest of 5 children and the shortest. I'm actually the shortest all the time, everywhere. Here, somebody asked me if I was on the Gymnastics Hall of Fame. Well, I'll get into that in a minute. But anyhow, my brothers, 2 of my older brothers are here, and my sister. And our middle brother passed away just this last December. He would have loved to be here, I know that. So thank you. Also, my parents, they were a mainstay at McHale Center for years. They were at as many games as they could be. So a heavenly shout out to them. They've been gone for 10 years now. And just so much love and appreciation for them and everything that they did for not only me, but our whole family, and the dedication that they had, and also the sacrifices that they made. My children are here. We have 2 grandchildren that are not. They would be tearing this place apart. So they are not here. But I have my dear husband, we talked about earlier. I met him on campus 40 years ago at the LDS Institute of Religion. and we've now been married for 35 years. He's put up with that. We have 4 children that are sitting over there. Can't remember what table we were at. I think it's 4. There they are, cute. So Casey, Jordan, Shelby, and Shannon, and they grew up loving Arizona. They probably feel the same way about coming back home. All of them were born here in Arizona, and 2 were born right here in Tucson. And so fun for them to come back. I love them, and they love and support women and women's basketball, and we've tried to teach them that. So when I was a little girl, I grew up, and there weren't a lot of women's teams or girls' teams for me to play on, so I played with the boys. And I'm sure anybody my age or a little older, the same situation. So I played Little League baseball, and I played, on boys' teams until I got into high school. So I got into high school, and they started giving out scholarships to play basketball. And when I was a little girl, I just loved basketball. I loved all sports, but I was like the craziest thing. Just loved basketball. And so I said I wanted to play in college. And everywhere I turned, everyone would say, "You're too short. You're too short." And I'd be like, yeah, we'll see. And so it kept going on, and back in the day, the recruiting was so much different than now. You used to type up something, it had your name on it, and maybe your height, which was my mistake. Shouldn't have put that on there. And it had maybe some statistics, what high school you went to, and you sent that off. It took 3 or 4 days to get to some coach across the country, and then they would write you back. Well, I received a lot of letters back that said, I don't think you're the right fit for our program, and I knew exactly what that meant. That meant I was too short. I knew it. So I remembered those teams. I wanted to go to the University of Arizona, and Arizona wanted me to go there, and so I did, and I can remember those teams, and I'd be like, I'm going to score 20 points on you every time we play you, just because you told me that. Not sure if I did, but I did some good damage on, not to mention any names, but ASU and UCLA. So I'm just grateful. This is such an honor for me and my family. We love Tucson, and as a woman, as a wife, as a mother and a grandmother, I want to thank the University of Arizona Women's Basketball and everybody who has been a part of that, and I want to thank every single person that believed in me along my path. Go Cats, bear down.
Justine Schluntz is one of 4 Wildcats to earn NCAA Woman of the Year honors, a tremendous honor reserved for standout athletes, students, and community members. Schluntz's career was highlighted by her performances in 2008, a driving force behind the women's swimming and diving team's NCAA championship. During her time in Tucson, Schluntz was part of 5 NCAA championship winning relay teams, including back-to-back titles in the 400-yard medley relay. She was a 16-time All-American, 2-time Pac-10 champion, and still to this day holds times in the Arizona all-time top 10 in 6 events. Schluntz was also a standout in the classroom, having been a 2010 Rhodes Scholar, 3-time Pac-10 All-Academic First-Team honoree, and a COSIDA First-Team Academic All-American.
After completing her PhD at Oxford in 2015, Justine returned to the University of Arizona, where she is currently an associate professor of practice in aerospace and mechanical engineering. Justine is married to Captain Abby Norwood of the United States Air Force, splits her time between Tucson and Valdosta, Georgia, where Abby is stationed. And to keep busy in Valdosta, Justine started doing Ironman triathlons a couple years ago, recently competed at the Ironman World Championships in Kona, Hawaii. Justine Schluntz, please come forward and be inducted into the U of A Sports Hall of Fame.
Break rocks, you could be a master, don't wait for luck, dedicate yourself and you go find yourself. Standing in the Hall of Fame. can walk straight through hell with a smile. You could be the hero.
Follow Kirsten's example in terms of the mic in the mouth. It would seem to work well. What he didn't mention is that I did not finish Ironman Hawaii. I got halfway through the marathon and was pulled from the course for heat exhaustion and plugged into an IV, but next time. A little bit of a disclaimer. As my teammates know, I tend to cry at this sort of thing, so we'll see how long I last before the water comes out. All right. Of the various honors that they just read in my introduction, this one is, oh, I didn't last very long. This one is by far the most meaningful to me. Oh, man. This was supposed to be a 3-minute talk, but if I keep crying, it's going to take a lot longer. Most of those other awards were awarded by strangers based on what they knew about me on paper or a short half-hour interview. But the people who elected me to this Hall of Fame are people who know me personally. And as we say in the academic world, I consider them to be aspirational peers. To know that people who I look up to think this highly of me is truly a great honor. I consider myself very lucky to have so many people here today to support me. There's a lot of you over there. And to be here for me for this tremendous moment in my life. There are far too many of you to thank individually in this short speech, but those of you who have mentored, counseled, befriended, or helped me in any way along my journey, please know I am very grateful for you. And some of you are over there too, actually, I know that. I think you know who you are. If you are not sure if you're one of those people, you are one of those people, and thank you. There are a handful of people who I do want to recognize by name today. When I learned I would be inducted here, I started thinking about all the people who've helped me get here and what they have in common. And so the 8 that I'm going to mention by name are emblematic of the broader group of everybody who's helped me. These 8 in particular supported me by writing letters of recommendation for me, and specifically for the Rhodes Scholarship. Yes, you need 8 letters of recommendation for the Rhodes Scholarship. As I reached out to invite them to this ceremony, I also noticed how many years of service each of them has given to the university. So I'm going to read those to you. B.G. Potter, 20 years at the U of A and counting. He's here today. Frank Bush, retired with 22 years at the University of Arizona. Jeff Jacobs, 33 years at the University of Arizona and counting. Price Fishbeck, 33 years and counting. Becky Bell, retired after 35 years at U of A. Jeff Goldberg, 35 years at the U of A before he retired. Ed Kirsten, retired after 38 years at U of A. And finally, Skip Perkins, retired after an astounding 47 years at the U of A. So, who is paying attention? This is the teacher in me. How many years total is that? Price, I knew I could count on the statistician. 263. That is an average of 33 years each. So I am pretty good at picking mentors. So think about how many thousands of students those 8 people have impacted over the course of those careers. And think about all the other people you know, many of whom are in this room, who have also spent decades at the university, and how many students those people have supported. Here it comes again. The thing about the University of Arizona is that there are so many wonderful people who really, truly want to support and lift up everyone around them, and they especially want to lift up students. This university provides every opportunity for students to succeed, both in terms of the resources they provide and the people who are here to help. I am so glad that Frank and Augie convinced me to come here. So fortunate to have had the best teammates I could have asked for, and so lucky to now be able to continue to be a part of this institution and make a small dent at ensuring that today's students have the same type of opportunities and mentorship that I received as a student athlete. But the thing is, I'm only at 13 years, and that's only if you include the 5 years as a student athlete. So I guess I still have a long ways to go. Thank you again for this recognition. It's truly special to have this final chance to be honored for my achievements during my time as a student athlete. Bear down.
Dave Rubio is well known among the halls of McHale Center, one of the longest tenured and winningest coaches in department history, regardless of sport. Rubio finished his 31-year career at the helm of Arizona volleyball, ranked 11th among active Division I coaches with 692 career victories, 570 of which came at Arizona. Under his guidance, the Wildcats made 20 NCAA tournament appearances, advancing to 8 Sweet 16s, 4 Elite Eights, and 1 Final Four. Rubio molded 3 Wildcat Olympians for Team USA, 4 first-team All-Americans, 4 Pac-10 and Pac-12 major award winners, and an AVCA Freshman of the Year. His athletes also excelled in the classroom, with 68 earning academic all-conference honors.
After retiring from head coaching duties, Dave has stayed involved in the sport in different ways. He has continued coaching different volleyball clinics for the Dave Rubio Youth Volleyball League, also has started coaching a professional volleyball team called Athletes Unlimited based out of Phoenix. You can, by the way, find their games on ESPN Plus and ESPNU. Dave has also started surfing as much as he can, which is good news. Dave Rubio, please come forward and be inducted into the U of A Sports Hall of Fame.
You know the day destroys the night, night divides the day. Try to run, try to hide, break on through to the other side, break on through to the other side, break on through to the other side, yeah. We chased our pleasures here, dug our treasure.
Let's just get something square right now. I am not a Rhodes Scholar. Don't get nervous about my speech here with all the pages. This font's pretty big. I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to get off the stage. All right. First, I'd like to congratulate my fellow Hall of Fame inductees. Like each of you, I'm honored to be a part of the 2023 Hall of Fame class. I was told I had 3 to 5 minutes to talk about my 31-year career. I really only needed 2. The only thing head coaches understand, or one of the things that coaches understand, is time constraints. And with that, Dylan, start the clock. When I have 1 minute left, hold up one finger, and I'll wrap things up. I'd like to share a quick story, and I just ran into Rob in the bathroom. And I shared, and I said, you know, I got a story about you, Rob. Yeah, he got pretty nervous. I was preparing for practice in 2007, and in walked our head football coach, Mike Stoops. He introduces Rob to me and says, Dave, I'd like you to meet Rob Gronkowski. He will be a first-round pick in the NFL draft. I say, nice to meet you, Rob. What year in school are you? He tells me he's a freshman. I look at Mike, I look at Rob, and I said, good luck with that. As I left, I was thinking that poor kid has to live up to those expectations. Well, let's just say it's a good thing I coach volleyball, not football. Rob, congratulations on all your success and being inducted into the Hall of Fame tonight. Receiving this honor tonight is humbling, but it's also my opportunity to recognize the people who have played instrumental roles in my success. From the beginning, my mom and dad taught me and my brother the values of hard work, finishing what you started, to always be on time, and most importantly, live by the golden rule. These traits I've tried to pass on to all my athletes and my own children. I want to thank my older brother, Keith, for paving the way. It was a lot easier to follow you to break new ground for myself. The best day of my life was when I married my wife, Amanda. The role of a coach's wife is one of the most difficult jobs on earth. Anybody who knows our family would tell you I hit the lottery when I married her. She is a rock of the family, often carrying the burden of acting as mom and dad when I was on the road, which was often. Building our family together also created my greatest personal change. When Olivia, then Lucy, and Dylan were born, I now had firsthand experience with what my players' parents were going through and feeling. I now had a better understanding and more empathy for my players. There is no greater love than the love you have for your children. This love changed my view on coaching and my life's priorities. Tucson has been my home since 1992. During that time, Amanda and I have been fortunate to develop deep, lasting friendships. On more than one occasion, I leaned on those friends for their sage advice. Thank you, Gene Slackett, Jim and Jan Harrison, Dave and Olivia Sethi, Bill and Sarah Burke. During my time at Arizona, there have been countless number of people who've walked every step with me, from former managers, players, and assistant coaches. Thank you, Ralph Rivera, who was a former manager who's here tonight. Thank you, Barbell, who was the Sean Elliott of the women's volleyball team. She brought talent and much-needed toughness to our young program in 1993. I want to thank Steve and Melissa Walker, who were former assistants before Steve was hired to coach the beach volleyball team. I want to thank Gwen Egberg, who was my most recent volunteer assistant, and Matt Dyke, who was my former manager and assistant coach. I would be remiss to not mention my successor, Rita Stubbs, who is paying UCLA tonight. One of my mentors told me that the most important quality an assistant coach must have is loyalty to the head coach. Even when we disagreed, I never questioned her loyalty. She helped me bridge the player-head coach gap. I know volleyball, but I will never claim to understand women. She completed the balance of the teams it needed over the years. I would also like to thank Jim Crumpos and Emily Johnson for their dedication to the health and welfare of the student athletes who played for me, and for their unlimited patience with my demands, both big and small. I took my first trip to Tucson in 1981 as a member of the Cal State Northridge volleyball team. Having grown up in Southern California, Tucson might as well have been located on the East Coast. My second visit to the old Pueblo was 10 years later. My Cal State Bakersfield team was invited to play in the Wildcat Classic. And as the saying goes, the third time is a charm. In 1992, I was back in Tucson to interview for the volleyball coaching position. I want to thank Ced Dempsey for taking a chance on a 32-year-old Division II coach. On my visit, I remember having a front row seat at the basketball game. After the game, Ced drove me here to La Paloma. We sat in the lounge. Ced ordered a beer, which I thought was pretty cool. The next day, he and Rocky offered me the opportunity to coach at U of A. I was too young to know how life-changing that would be. Thank you, Ced. I was so young and inexperienced when I was hired in 1992. I look back on my career and I can point to one reason I was able to dodge the landmines along the way. The one constant who was always looking after me was Rocky LaRose. She was my guiding mentor during the 25 years we were together. Even when I stepped on a landmine or two, she never wavered in her support. Thank you, Rocky, for everything you've done for me and my family. When Rocky retired, Susie Mason became my direct supervisor. I could have not asked for a better person to step in for Rocky. Thank you, Susie, for your counsel and your friendship. I was fortunate to work with amazing athletic directors. I started my career with the legendary Cedric Dempsey, and I finished my career with Dave Hickey, whom I consider one of the very best I worked for during my career. Dave was the coach's AD. Having been a student athlete and a coach himself, he understood the challenges we face daily. Thank you, Dave, for your belief and faith in myself and the women's volleyball team. I would be remiss if I didn't formally thank Jerry Holmes for his support and mentorship throughout my career at Arizona. He taught me the ins and outs of running a Power 5 program. He pushed me to recruit better and more often. He would listen to my phone conversations with recruits and give me his critique afterwards. That actually happened. Jerry was never short on opinions. He would tell me we hit a home run on one recruit, and then the next sentence he would tell me, I think you need your eyes checked when you recruited her. He was 100% in on helping me make Arizona volleyball better. I could not believe a person I recently met was so committed to my success. He has been an invaluable friend and mentor throughout my time here at U of A. I can't thank him enough for everything he's done for me and the program and my family. Outside of my parents, I can point to two people who've had the biggest impact on my life. At an early age, Walt Kerr and Jack Dyke, who are here and who happen to be the two best friends, set me on the course where I am now. I played volleyball for Walt in high school and college. After college, Walt took me under his wing and taught me the value of instruction and how to evaluate talent. He was an incredible coaching role model for me. My success is a direct result of his coaching influence. Post-college, Jack went on to play professional basketball. Then he went into education and became a high school basketball coach. Throughout my time at Arizona, I would seek Jack's counsel anytime I had a big decision to make. In the early years before I was married, I would spend a week or two with him, his wife Robin, and his family in Sandpoint, Idaho. We would run volleyball clinics together, and I was able to enjoy Lake Pend Oreille. Jack's son, Matt, eventually became one of my managers, and years later, one of my assistants. Jack's daughter, Amy, was a starting setter for me in 2003. Jack and his wonderful wife, Robin, moved to Tucson last spring to be full-time Wildcats. Thank you, Walt and Jack, for your guidance and friendship. Let me end on this. During my 31 years as the head coach at Arizona, I've experienced the elation of winning big matches and the absolute despair that goes with losing. But never once, at any point in those 31 years, did I ever feel like a Hall of Fame coach. Thank you very much for this honor. Bear down.
Rob Gronkowski, who is widely regarded as one of the greatest tight ends in NFL history, today places his name among the greatest athletes to compete as an Arizona Wildcat. Gronk, one of the Wildcats' most prominent alumni, enjoyed an All-America career at Arizona before going on to establish himself as one of the most accomplished tight ends in the history of the National Football League. The 2008 first-team All-Pac-10 and third-team All-American finished his collegiate career as Arizona's record holder in a single game, season, and career for receptions, yards, and touchdowns by a tight end. Gronkowski was selected in the second round of the 2010 NFL Draft by the New England Patriots and went on to enjoy an 11-year NFL career that included 4 Super Bowl championships, 4 first-team All-Pro selections, 5 Pro Bowl appearances, and a spot on the NFL's 100th anniversary all-time team.
As you heard, Rob was drafted by the Patriots, 42nd pick in 2010. From his first year out, he cemented himself as one of the greatest players to ever play the game of football. A member of the NFL 100th anniversary all-time team, 6-time Super Bowl participant, 4-time champion, Rob was an elite receiver and blocker. His records, probably too numerous to list off right now, but some of his accomplishments: 6-time Pro Bowler, 4-time first-team All-Pro, only tight end to lead the NFL in touchdown receptions in 2011 with 17, and a total of 21 in a full season, including the postseason. Only 4 other players, all receivers, have reached 20 touchdown receptions in one season. His effervescence and irreverence made him not only a fan favorite, but also an icon and a folk hero. Gronkowski, considered one of the most unique personalities in sports, and has played with a great combination of acrobatic athleticism and reckless abandon, all the while maintaining his boyish enthusiasm and humor. Rob Gronkowski, please come forward and be inducted into the U of A Sports Hall of Fame.
I just want to thank God for all he has blessed me with, especially being Beast, that's for sure. And Coach Rubio, you were correct. I was not a first rounder. I was a second rounder. So you should have been a football coach. Yes, there's no doubt about that. But thank you to all. And the first story I want to start with is how I got to the University of Arizona. Wherever I go, I'm from Buffalo, New York. How did you get to U of A? Everyone always asks me that. And my father, he was in the fitness industry. And he went out to a convention, a business meeting, and he met another person that was in the same industry. And he was a U of A alumni, Donnie Salem. And this was way before I was like born. They were already friends. And he kept saying to my dad, your kids have to come to U of A. They have to come to U of A. So without Donnie Salem telling my dad, harassing him every day that we have to visit there, I would have never been able to come out to the University of Arizona. So thank you, Donnie, for all that. Thank you. And that's how it started. And I just want to thank everyone that's part of the Hall of Fame selection committee and all the other inductees. It's a true honor, that is for sure. And I love Tucson. I love the University of Arizona. And picking Arizona was one of the best decisions I've ever made, especially just flying across country. There was never any direct flights, but I knew it was the place. I knew it was the place I wanted to be, even though, you know, I had basically every opportunity on the East Coast. I knew it was going to be Arizona since my sophomore year in high school. There's no doubt about that. I had the time of my life here, and the coaches and players around me definitely 100% helped develop me into the player that I am today. And I'd like to thank my family. First, my nephews out here. They're the next generation of Gronkowskis. They will be absolute beasts as well. Yes. Bear and Ledger. Yes, they're young bucks, but he hit a home run. I'd never seen it before, and he's like 4 years old. It was crazy the other day. I would like to thank the creator, AKA my dad, for always supporting me in everything I do. I love you, sir. Thank you very much. And I want to thank my mom as well. You know, she's been there since day one, letting us get to all the practices. No doubt, feeding us, all she did. I had four brothers. She did a lot for us, making sure she organized everything and fed us every day, lunch, dinner, all that good stuff. And there's no doubt about that. And I want to thank all my brothers. Without them, I wouldn't be standing here today. They're the ones who prepared me for these moments. I mean, we were in fights every single day. I was participating versus my brothers. They were 2 years, 4 years older than me. And I took an absolute beating as a kid. And I swear it took my pain tolerance to another level. And that's why you can say I'm a reckless player on the field. I got knocked out. It didn't matter. I got right back up every time. I had 9 surgeries throughout my career. It never stopped me one time. And I would say that led to my childhood of just getting beat the crap out of and standing back up every single time. There's no doubt about that. And I want to thank Chris. He was my best friend at the University of Arizona. He's a fellow Wildcat. He was on the football team as well. There's no doubt about that. He had the only touchdown out of us two in the Vegas Bowl, our last game that that I played in at the University of Arizona. And it was our first bowl game in 10 years. So Chris, appreciate the love and joining me here at the University of Arizona. And I want to thank my girlfriend as well, Camille. You are my love. Thank you for being here. Let me tell you, I had the worst time off the field while I was here at the University of Arizona. Yes, I was known for doing nothing crazy here. So I love you, baby. And I want to say thanks to all my coaches and teammates as well. Without you guys, I wouldn't have been the player that I am. Coach Stoops, of course, he was incorrect saying I was a first-rounder, Rubio, but he's the one who recruited me here as well, and he was the head coach. Coach Kish, Coach Dimmel, and Coach Sonny Dykes, all of them, all of the other coaches as well. Thank you guys for everything. And Donnie, once again, I just want to say you are the #1 Wildcat of all times, getting me here to the University of Arizona. Without you, none of this is possible, man. You donated a whole weight room. You're the only guy that, you know, would do such a thing like that. And they still never put your name on that weight room. I'm still waiting for you guys to do that, Erica, all right? That was a couple years ago. So without your donation, I would never been able to get strong and be lifting all those weights all the years I was here. So thank you, ma'am. And Club G, I just want to give a shout out. That was the name of the place where we lived. I want to give a shout out to Chris, my other brother Gord, Justin, and Ollie. They were my other friends that lived with us or was always at the house. We had a great time, and I'll just stop it right there with Club G. All right? But, you know, I'm working for Fox now as an analyst. I'm part-time because I don't want to fly across country every week. I got many other jobs as well. And my dad, I told him he can keep my schedule, he can book it for me. And let me tell you, football was a lot less stressful than it is now, that's for sure, Dad. So I just want to say thanks for those 20 minutes that you leave off my calendar. I'm still training hard, so I'm thinking about a comeback now, Dad, because you're working me. I'm just kidding, I make my own schedule, but I was just trying to get an excuse on why I can go back and play again. But thank you to everyone here at this university. It's an amazing university. That's for sure. Thank you to the players and the coaches that played with me. We outworked everyone. And we didn't win every game, but we gave it our all, that's for sure. And thank you to all the coaches that are still here, all the hard work and dedication you guys put into this organization. I know all the hard work it takes just to win one game, just to be, you know, competitive every single day, day in and day out. You got to put the work in, no doubt about that. And thank you to all the fellow alumni and just the Wildcat fans that are everywhere. I meet Wildcat fans in Florida, Boston, it doesn't matter where I am. There's always someone that is alumni at Arizona, and we all stick together, that's for sure. We're Wildcats for life. Thank you guys once again. Thank you to the committee. Bear down, Arizona.
Rob, before you go too far, we would like to have all the new inductees come back to the stage for a photo. And while they are all coming up here, I want to tell you that you can continue to celebrate, of course, big football game tomorrow night against UCLA, 7:30 at Arizona Stadium. There is a discounted rate available if you don't have your tickets yet. But if you're here tonight, you can call the McHale Center ticket office tomorrow at 621-CATS. Mention you attended the Sports Hall of Fame ceremony, and you'll get that discounted rate. Probably tell your friends to call. They can do the same thing. Nobody would know the wiser. So we'll get a picture taken here in just a second and salute our new inductees.